It's tables, ladders, and chairs, but a kendo stick is fine, I guess.
Roman Reigns' plans sure to be halted by an old foe on WWE RAW, says veteran. Roman Reigns is all set to have a singles WWE match with Solo Sikoa on the first episode of RAW on Netflix. However, a veteran thinks he will not have a straightforward fight ahead of him. The Bloodline story has only become more complicated lately, given how many enemies both Roman and Solo have made in the past. According to veteran journalist Bill Apter, this makes it likely that the match between Solo and Roman will not have a clean ending. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Wrestling Time Machine, hosted by Mac Davis, the veteran journalist stated, "I think there will be interference from both sides there, and it will be a throughout free-for-all that will lead to a tag team match again with Roman Reigns and whoever will go with him, and Solo and Jacob and his guys. That's what I think is going to happen." He further named Drew McIntyre as a possible external force in the match. Drew McIntyre was talking about being enemies with Roman, wants to get rid of Roman Reigns again now. So Drew McIntyre could get involved in this thing somehow as well. Teddy Long also commented on another WWE star's progress. While several stars are rising among the ranks in WWE, Teddy Long thinks one of the names deserves special mention. In an episode of The Wrestling Time Machine, the WWE Hall of Famer stated that Gunther had really impressed him in the recent weeks. He said, "I think Gunther. I have watched him, saw him when he first started. I watched him, as he kind of grew and kept moving along. And he has certainly done a great job. He's a great athlete in the ring, a great worker, and he has a great attitude, and he knows how to carry that title. You know what I mean? He knows he is a bad guy, and that's exactly how he comes across and portrays it." It remains to be seen how Gunther and Roman Reigns' stories pan out in WWE in the coming weeks. Roman Reigns to be betrayed. Rivalry with 12-time tag team champions? 5 directions for the Usos following their tag team reunion. The Usos have reunited in WWE just in time for 2025 after their story with Roman Reigns. Jimmy and Jey Uso have made a name for themselves after leaving the Bloodline, and the brothers reunited as a tag team earlier this week. Jimmy and Jey Uso teamed up during the WWE Holiday Tour Live event in Jacksonville, Florida, to take a loss from Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. The Usos returned as a tag team after 543 days, and Triple H could pair them as a team for some time again. After helping Roman Reigns at Survivor Series War Games, the two have been hounded by Drew McIntyre. There are a few things the brothers could do in WWE, especially with the transfer window open. Roman Reigns worked with Jimmy and Jey Uso as part of the Bloodline for nearly 3 years. The two sides fell apart, and the Usos even faced Reigns and Solo Sikoa in a tag team match where Jey pinned the OTC. In 2024, Roman Reigns needed Jimmy and Jey Uso's help to level Sikoa's bloodline at Survivor Series War Games. The brothers could come to the OTC's aid once again during his tribal combat match against the self-proclaimed tribal chief. Alternatively, WWE fans could see Jimmy, Jey, and Roman Reigns reunite with Drew McIntyre as the new threat on their radar. The pairing would once again help elevate Reigns' status in the company. Number 4. Jimmy and Jey could go after the World Tag Team Championship. It's been a while since the Usos have held gold in WWE. The brothers are record-breaking tag team champions who have elevated the tag team division of the company to the next level. The War Raiders currently hold the World Tag Team title on Raw, and WWE could look to change champions following the brand's Netflix premiere. The Usos could get in contention for the titles after Jimmy moves to Raw as part of the transfer window. They could turn heel and go after the War Raiders title right away. It would be a good idea to put the titles on the brothers, especially with Raw moving to Netflix. Their star power will elevate Raw's viewership. The Usos could face the WWE Tag Team Champions. The SmackDown brand will look to stay ahead as several stars may move from the brand to the Raw roster for Netflix. WWE could look to bring some big names to the blue brand, including Jey Uso, to keep it afloat. The move to separate the Usos from Roman Reigns for some time, especially if the OTC moves to Raw. It would also give them a chance to work on their own without helping their family out all the time. The Usos could stay babyface and get in contention for the WWE Tag Team Championship currently held by DIY. The heels have done a good job at winning the titles and changing their characters. An extended feud with #DIY will elevate Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and also possibly allow the titles to switch hands. The New Day needs some good rivals in WWE. The New Day recently turned heel with a blockbuster segment. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are now two of the most hated men in WWE. The New Day could stick to Raw or get kicked to SmackDown in 2025. They could end up on the same brand as Jimmy and Jey Uso, who will be looking for some top competition after reuniting. The two teams have competed in countless matches against each other. They know each other inside out, and the Usos could help elevate the 12-time tag team champions once again. It would be great to see the two sides reignite their rivalry and put on some memorable matches for fans. A title wouldn't be needed to get their feud over. The Rock's return could shatter Roman Reigns. WWE fans have been patiently waiting for The Rock to return so they could get the dream rivalry between the final boss and Roman Reigns. Reigns is busy in a rivalry with Solo Sikoa, and he could move on to Drew McIntyre following Raw's Tribal Combat. However, The Rock could return to remind Jimmy and Jey that Roman Reigns did not help them when they were being hounded by the Scottish Warrior. The Rock could then take the Usos' help in building his rivalry with the OTC if the two men collide at WrestleMania 41. Jimmy and Jey Uso could get an even bigger push if they get some time to work with the final boss and also get matches against Reigns heading into the show of shows. Roman Reigns to return with 6 feet 1 inch monster and save 16-time world champion? 4 predictions for the last WWE SmackDown of 2024. This week's episode of WWE SmackDown will air live from Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. As fans know, the Blue brand will expand to 3 hours starting next week. Given this will be the final WWE SmackDown of 2024, the company will look to end this year on a high note. Fans should expect some big things to unfold on Friday's show, which could set the tone for the next year. On that note, here are 4 predictions for this week's WWE SmackDown. Last week on SmackDown, Braun Strowman lost to Carmelo Hayes via countout. The loss didn't sit down well with the monster among men, as he chased Hayes out of the arena following the bout. However, Melo outsmarted Braun before assaulting him with a steel chair. Given how things unfolded, an irate Strowman could look to hit back at Carmelo on Friday's WWE SmackDown. However, the monster of all monsters could once again be outsmarted and embarrassed by his rival. Shinsuke Nakamura vs. LA Knight Part 2. Shinsuke Nakamura has targeted LA Knight since his return to the company a few weeks ago. The King of Strong Style usurped the megastar, winning the United States Championship at Survivor Series, War Games. However, the high-octane feud bet